Hey, welcome to your Gemini horoscopes for the week of December 10th through the 16th. We have no planets in Gemini, and this week focus is on the mind and how the mind works. Now, this can go one or two different ways for you guys because I interpret focus on the mind to be ideas and being full of ideas, which, of course, is just your MO, right? That's how Geminis are. You guys are full of ideas all the time. But on the flip side of that, it also can be focused on too much time being focused in a mental space, if that makes sense. Bottom line, we're overthinking things. And actually, it could be a little bit of both, really, in terms of the ideas coming up and then overthinking how it needs to be done. And the issue with overthinking, it's kind of an interesting thing. We human beings are really the only species that has logic, that uses logic in some way. And so that actually works for us because we can do more things than, say, other species. At the same time, though, it works against us because we wind up using way too much time trying to mentally figure it out and not enough time actually following through and getting things done. So I feel like this week's focus for you guys, especially as you're planning your holidays that are coming up, is really important for you guys to take the time to balance. Remember, balance, it is a thing, and it is a thing for Geminis just as much as it is for anybody else. You have to balance your time with ideas and mentally processing those ideas and actually the physical act of moving through and getting things done within those ideas. So basically, it's just managing your time on that and making sure that your brain just doesn't take over the process and result in either nothing getting done or everything getting done at the last minute and not exactly going to plan, if that makes sense. As a fellow airhead myself, it is really difficult for me to stay on a schedule. It's really difficult for me to plan things because we need a certain level of flexibility in our lives, of course, for sure. But honestly, forcing myself to do that, forcing myself to kind of sort of stick to a schedule or my plans is actually so much more effective in terms of how I utilize my time. And that helps with the overactive mental process. Being an Aquarius, we're like literally cut out of the same cloth, basically. And I have noticed in my life that has happened to me a lot, that I've really just wasted a whole day trying to figure out how this is going to look instead of actually taking the time to write it down, to come up with a process, to come up with a goal plan, to do all the things that I tell people to do. And then when I don't do it, well, this is why I tell other people to do it, because it's just not efficient when you're spending too much time mentally processing something. An addition to this here is also that we get very stuck on certain things that are happening that we don't like. And we spend a lot of time going over those things like a hamster wheel in our minds over and over and over. And it's really hard to step away from that and focus that mental energy on something else. It's hard, but it's not impossible. So I feel like this week, they're just, again, life is like that. It's one thing after another after another. And I think you Geminis, that definitely happens for you guys a lot more than others because it is you're in a constant mental process. This week is a really good opportunity to just see how much that quote unquote thinking time is really eating up your time. And if you're noticing that it is eating up your time, then it's a really good time to find ways to be able to manage that. We're not nipping it in the bud because it is a part of who you are, but it is a good idea to manage it. Trust me on this. I've wasted lots and lots and lots of time getting stuck on something that I just can't let go of because my mind is just it's stuck in that hamster wheel, and that's why I can't let it go. I'm not saying we're not focusing on this anymore. Let's shift over to something that's more productive. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link in the description. I really appreciate that. You guys have been so amazing. Thank you so much. There's also a second link there in the description, and that link specifically is for a discount. I have a 25% discount for hour-long readings going all through the month. There's a promo code right there in the description. All you need to do is click the link, goes right to my booking page, put the promo code in there, bam. Get your reading scheduled with your 25% discount. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, you guys make it a productive week, not a mentally productive week, but a physically productive week. Balance those two things out and make it a productive week in both areas. You guys make it a great week, and I will see you next week.